We're at Anchor.
We are at Anchor, not at a marina. And we've been getting a good number of questions lately about when we choose to do an anchorage and when we choose to go into a marina. So we thought this would be a good time to talk about it.
And we anchor out not because it's free, but because the experience being out of a place like this is priceless.
Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up, come my way, and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun.
All right, so we are now in our 8th boating season, I believe.
Wow, it's been a lot.
Yeah, and this is after 20 years of nomadic life with RVing as well. And we have always mixed it up between boondocking and anchoring, which are kind of similar in the RV and boating space, and as well as marinas and
RV parks and
campgrounds and things like that, which are paid spots that you're in. So they're very similar. There's a lot of similarities between those sorts of things. And we're finding in our boating life, we
like to mix it up.
We like to mix it up just like we do in RVing. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, we're not hardcore all the time boondockers, though we are equipped to be that way when we're in our RV life. And in our anchoring life, we know plenty of people who are hardcore anchor out every time they possibly can. We mix it up. We do marinas on occasion, but we really also love the anchorage experience. So it's both.
And just like our RVs, we have outfitted our boat to be an anchoring queen. The boat already came with large water tanks, so we can hold like 170 gallons of fresh water, I think, between our 2 tanks. Mm-hmm. We do have a water maker on board. We have the Rain Man portable.
Yeah, the Rain Man portable, which we never need to use because we tend to have to, because our black tank is our limiting factor. Is we have to go ashore or go to a pump out station every so often to empty the black tank.
Yeah, so we have 45 gallons of black tank.
Which we can do 2 to 3 weeks with.
Yep, exactly. And we do have a composting toilet on board so that we have that as an alternative if we can't get to a pump out. We do also have lots of food capacity for storage on board the boat.
So much storage.
We have 1,440 watts of solar up as our hard top on the top of the boat. We have 400 amp hours of lithium batteries at 24 volts, which right now we're on day 7 of running completely off solar and battery with no generator
needed.
But we don't need an air conditioner right now. That changes the equation.
And we do have a fuel efficient and relatively quiet generator when we do need to generate power away from the dock. So we are very comfortable and adept at being away from a dock. And then we have a very nice get around dinghy. So we have transport when we're away from a dock that is easy to launch, which is, I think, one of the things that makes it actually something we actually use. So we're set to be anchoring all the time.
So theoretically, we could anchor out all the time. And there are good reasons why we love anchoring out. And we do it probably about half and half. So number one, places like this are just beautiful, tranquil, peaceful to be at.
There's so many anchorages that are just the pinnacle of the cruising experience with nobody around you, amazing views, and then just that subtle, beautiful day swinging at the hook feeling as just such a nice vibe to have your own private island in paradise.
Yep. When we're moving between more extended stops, it's great for overnights. We don't have to worry about making reservations. We can just drop the hook in a place that feels safe and meets the criteria of what an anchorage is.
And a lot of anchorages, we do, and a lot of people who anchor out all the time don't go to shore because their dinghies aren't easy to deploy or they're just not shore oriented. We like to get to shore to run and explore and do all that. But if you put a little homework into picking your anchorages, we tend to find anchorages with really great shore access, and a lot of towns have, or even actually have kind of almost the red carpet out, welcoming in cruisers with town dinghy docks or places to get ashore. So you still have that going to town experience without having to necessarily go to a marina.
Yeah, here, especially in the Chesapeake Bay, we have found a lot of towns have that dinghy dock experience. Some of them even offer trash, maybe even water fill. But they really do welcome cruisers who are anchoring out and not necessarily staying in their limited marina capacity in town.
Yeah, Solomon's Island even had a Freetown dock with a pump out and water fill. So you can even pump out completely for free and just go back to your anchorage.
Yeah, so a whole bunch of towns that we have found with free dinghy dock access and protected anchorages that make it really comfortable to visit their towns this way. when the weather is pleasant, we don't need the air conditioner or a heater because we are coming into a season we might need heaters soon.
Winter, yes.
Because
Winter is
apparently
coming.
winter's coming. It's just splendid to be out at anchor.
The
not
cross
have,
breezes. And,
yeah, and just have the front windows open. We have a V-berth cabin, so at nights it's just so pleasant. And that makes anchoring out just wonderful. Because if you're in a marina, sometimes you don't get that breeze because you're not facing into the wind.
Yes. Yeah. So you when you're an anchor, you're basically always facing into the wind, and you just get sometimes like such an amazing out in nature feel with like big towering trees. We have eagles buzzing around us out here.
Bald eagles, not just eagles.
Bald eagles, yeah, bald eagles. It's yeah, you get much more in nature experience than you could ever get in a marina.
Sometimes, usually.
Sometimes.
We've had some.
We've had some urban anchorages too, of course. Yes.
And then we're out here on our own. We're not really in sight of anybody. That gives such a feeling of privacy. We can leave the windows open and not necessarily be worried about what we're wearing or not wearing.
We could use the hot tub.
Yes,
and not worry about what we're wearing or not wearing.
And that's just a nice feeling too, because we are at-home nudists, and that is, it's just great to be able to enjoy the views and not worry about the textiles.
Yes, and that is some of our favorite things. We just love anchoring. It's just that being out away from other people.
And sometimes it is the best choice to visit a town that we want to visit.
Oh yeah, actually some towns have good anchorages and no marinas, so that is
Or limited
marinas,
or expensive marinas.
or the marinas aren't in great locations. So again, being equipped to anchor and enjoy it and anchor abundantly is really been a key part of our cruising lifestyle.
And then there are times when an anchorage just doesn't make sense for our travels. And the first is if the place we're wanting to anchor or is on the way to anchor doesn't have decent shore access, well, we're not going to stay there very long.
We'll get stir crazy.
We find 2 nights is about the max we can anchor out without having shore access. And that shore access could just be a short hiking trail.
Sometimes we just find like public boat ramps where we can just get ashore and get a good long couple mile walk in and stuff. But we do need to have shore access, and anchoring out, sometimes you're not going to get that option.
Sometimes you do. We seek out anchorages as much as we can. Here, at this anchorage we're at, there's really no shore
access right here.
So this will be a one-night stop.
Yeah, and some towns that have good anchorages have no good public ways ashore. Some towns aren't friendly to cruisers, and they don't have dinghy docks or places to get ashore. And those will be like, well, we might anchor at that town, but we're not going to go ashore and spend any money because there's no way to do it. So, yeah.
It's not like we're threatening we're not going to spend money, but it's like we can't.
We can't. Yeah, it's like we can't get ashore. Oh, crap. Yes.
Another reason that we might not select an anchorage and we might choose a marina over it is if we see a spell of bad weather coming through. Now, a night or two in a protected anchorage is fine if weather's coming through. But if we can't find a protected anchorage from the winds that are coming through, or
it's a long stretch of bad whipping winds coming through, or long rains and stuff.
Because that can make getting ashore on the dinghy not feasible or fun, which means we're going to be stuck aboard.
And it also means that we might not be making much power with solar, so we're going to be running the generator more. And so when there's bad weather, we start to think, marina options.
Yes, we'll be looking ahead, because when you're a boater, you're checking the weather like several times a day anyway.
And looking way ahead.
So you're looking ahead. It's like, hey, next Wednesday, it looks like we're going to have about 3 days of rain and thunderstorms. Let's make sure we're in a marina for that time period so that it'll just be a more pleasant experience. We don't have to worry about dragging the anchor or anything like that. If the anchorage is in a high traffic area, like right now, it's Labor Day weekend when we're filming this. We have found an anchorage which is not in a high traffic area, but where we were yesterday was.
Boats zipping around, so yeah.
It's little zippy boats don't cause enough wake to really make it more than uncomfortable, but not unsafe.
But sometimes, particularly holiday weekends and stuff, some anchorages in popular areas can get unpleasant. And so actually, oftentimes we will try to either find a remote anchorage, or maybe we're like, okay, we want to be tied up at a marina for this particular busy time period or place.
Right. And of course, there are some anchorages that just are not feeling safe to us. Maybe they're very tight, so they have a small area where only so many boats really can feasibly fit in there and have proper scope.
Sometimes they have not good holding on the bottom, particularly for the given wind conditions. So, like we were down in Georgetown, where there's like pluff mud on the bottom of the town anchorage that didn't really stick very well. Even our big anchor just dragged right across when the winds picked up. So
Yeah, we had a freak storm come
We didn't
through.
like being anchored
Yeah,
there.
that was
in
not
those
fun.
conditions anyway.
We were just in Solomon's, and we were in the main downtown town anchorage, and really feasibly, maybe 3 or 4 boats can fit in there. And we had one that just got way too close to us. They dropped the hook like 70 feet off. We have a little thing that measures.
Yeah, we got a golf distant pin spotter.
They were 70 feet off of our aft, and we were both on 50 feet of chain and on very short scopes for the depths that were there. And there were some winds predicted that evening. So we went over and just asked them, it's like, how comfortable are you with your ground tackle? Do you know that our swing circles are going to cross? And we had to have a talk with them. And eventually we did decide to separate out a little bit more. But, that's a confrontation I don't like having to have.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing as when you're boondocking in an RV out in a really great, wonderful remote space, and somebody comes up and parks near you, and you're like, really?
Yeah, anchoring just doesn't have safe spots. So
Yes.
just because you picked a scorpish place doesn't mean that it's yours.
Yes, some other boat might come in and they might be too close, or they might infringe on your sense of privacy, or all these things. These things do happen at anchoring, and they might encourage you to leave. We've actually left anchorages and gone and relocated before.
Yeah, or we get to one and it's like, oh, I don't want to infringe on someone else's serene
vibe.
experience, so I'm going to anchor further away.
Right.
And sometimes we have been the one that we have encroached too close. We're plenty far enough away where they've come over and had a talking to with us, a screaming match with us once.
Yeah, I was like, we're way far from you. It's like, get out of here. I'm like, okay, we're leaving, dudes.
We are 400 feet away, dude. We are completely safe.
But there are some downsides to anchorages. And then also when your boat is at an anchorage, you can have some high stress. You have to be on more alert, have remote monitoring of your anchor alarms and stuff like that, because if the tides or the winds shift and your anchor does come up from where you thought you had a really secure spot, your boat might start to move without you being on it. And that can give you a little bit of tension, particularly if it's a new anchorage, you haven't a good sense of how much you trust it, or if the winds are changing. So yeah, they get a little tension on that.
It is, and you are monitoring it overnight, where we do wake up kind of
with the anchor alarm shifting.
Or we just stop and check it, especially if we know some high winds are coming in. We have been ashore at dinner and had the anchor alarm start to go off.
And you're like, okay, time to hightail it back to the dinghy and get back to the boat and fix things.
Yes. And that happened in Solomon's, actually, with that boat that anchored too close. We pulled it. We decided at first to pull in our scope a little bit too much, and sure enough, winds changed while we were on shore, and got the anchor alarm. Like, okay, we're rushing back.
We're starting to shift. There's nothing happening suddenly, but okay, we got to get back in the near term.
Yep. So, those are the downsides of anchoring. But anchoring overall, if you find the right spot, we do love anchoring out. Now you might wonder then, if we love anchoring out so much, why go to
marinas?
Why go to marinas at all?
Oh, and the big plus of anchoring is free. Marinas aren't. So why go to marinas?
Yeah, why are we spending all this money on marinas? We should just not do that.
Yeah.
No. There are good reasons for marinas, and they do provide a valuable service to our boaters, and it does come at a cost, because it is a business. It has to be sustainable. So one reason we might seek a marina is if it is going to be warm or cold. Apparently. Yeah. And we don't want to be running the generator nonstop, we're going to seek out a marina and be on shore power. It's worth it. It is significantly cheaper to run our generator, especially with our battery setup. We can run our air conditioner 24/7 and only need to run the generator about 8 to 9 hours a day.
Because we got enough battery to keep the air conditioning going for hours and hours overnight. We can do that.
Yeah.
So,
and that only comes out to $12-13 a day in fuel, and plus, of course, the maintenance on the generator. But it is nice to just not worry about it. So especially with other of these needs coming together that we're about to talk about, we're going to seek out a marina just to deal with the air conditioner, run it 24/7, and not worry about it.
When there's like a heat bubble, a marina makes good sense.
If there are not good anchorages around, or not a town dock to get ashore, and it's a town we want to explore, we're going to seek out a marina.
Particularly a marina that is in the heart of it. And when a marina is in the heart of a town, that puts it way higher on our radar than resort marinas that are in the middle of nowhere. Even if they have courtesy cars, we don't want to deal with having to drive to explore. We love when we could just walk off the boat and be in the heart of town.
Absolutely. Then fitness is another reason. We love to bicycle. We love to run. We love to get out walking. So if a town has like great biking trails or great biking access, we technically probably could get our bikes ashore by dinghy very carefully, one at a time.
It would be a big hassle from an anchorage to get our bikes ashore.
Well, it's so much more fun. We can just lift them right. We have nice 36-pound electric bikes, full size, that we can just lift off the boat and easily just go ride around, go provision, go on biking adventures.
And we love to do long rides. We've done 30-mile plus rides and
70-mile rides.
Yeah, we have. And it's like, so we'd love just to have that access to have the bikes right off the back of the boat.
Yep. So that is an incentive for us, as we're always looking for where are good biking trails. Okay, where's a marina? Where's a place we can get the bikes on the ground and go explore that?
More recently, we're now looking for fitness options with places with pools because we want to do some lap swimming.
Because somehow we figured out that if we add in swimming to our biking and the running, we have a triathlon. So now we're training for a triathlon.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, that goes.
Pools are nice.
Because here in the Chesapeake, we've had a lot of jellyfish, so swimming off the boat hasn't really been tenable.
Yes. So yes, marinas with pools suddenly get a little bit of extra appeal.
Yeah, especially lap swimming pools. I'm not looking for like lays around in a floaties pool. I'm looking for something where I can.
Kitties, yes.
Yeah, I'm looking for something where I can swim laps.
Yes.
Okay, if we need to catch up on laundry, now we could theoretically make our own water, use the power, do laundry on board, and dry up, with solar drying, hanging in the sun. We tend to stockpile our laundry.
It goes about 3 weeks.
3
without
weeks.
laundry.
Before our wardrobes start to feel limited. And so going in and just catching up on laundry all at once. So about every 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to seek out a marina and
catch up on
laundry.
On laundry, use all the water, refill everything. It's
So that's a good time to refresh the freshwater tanks, change out the hot tub water, maybe give the boat a wash, and any other high water usage stuff. So having a limited shore water is a blessing, and having a shower that isn't just a quick on off is nice sometimes too.
And then another good reason to be ashore is if we've got boat projects to tackle, particularly things that might require
trips to a hardware
store, or just fiddling around with taking parts of the boat apart. It's sometimes nice to have ground access, just to be able to fetch any other things you need.
And sometimes it's nice as the person not actively working on said boat project to get away.
Yeah, that's true.
If I can't be of help. All right. If we're going to be someplace for more than a week or two, we're going to be wanting to not move the boat for pump out. So we're looking for in-slit pump out. We're looking for that shore access and everything else. So being someplace for a week without those sorts of things, even 2 weeks, is fine. But beyond that, if we're looking at a month-long stay, we're looking at a marina.
And the nice thing is, once you start looking at a month-long stay, marinas get a lot cheaper. So hey, there you go. So. And even like sometimes the week stays get a nice discount, or 2 week stays. So
yeah. So a longer stay, we're looking at a marina. It just makes things so much easier. Like we just did 40 days in downtown DC, and just having that easy walk off the boat, go explore.
We could have anchored there. We would have roasted during the heat bubbles.
Yes.
And wouldn't have been the same experience.
If we're going to be planning to host aboard the boat, so we have friends in town, family might be coming to visit, people we might be meeting and wanting to host happy hours and things like that. It's
a lot easier at dock.
It's a lot easier at dock than trying to transport people by the dinghy out to, and having them trapped on board with you in a small space. So definitely if we're going to have people come to visit.
And speaking of people coming to visit, when it's the Amazon delivery driver coming to visit, that's a reason we seek out marinas. We have used Amazon lockers and stuff like that, but when we've got stuff to be ordered in, a marina makes so much sense.
Yeah, or you have a warranty repair on something, or we're waiting for something to be shipped and shipped back. It's a lot easier to use a marina that allows you to get packages there. And yeah, you can do the Amazon locker thing, and we do, but they can sometimes be unreliable. You're going to have to be rescheduling your
And if you're getting a stack of boxes this high, you want to have a dock cart, not have to ferry it on your bikes.
Right, so, and you want someplace to dispose of all the packaging afterwards really easily without having to ferry it back. So
we've definitely taken advantage of marina mailrooms.
Yes, definitely, and we do. We have been able to provision the boat in such a way that we typically don't need things regularly, but we can stockpile them. So we constantly have an Amazon list, and it's like when we know know we've secured a spot, we'll say, is it okay for us to have package delivered? Okay.
Here it comes.
Here it goes.
and then the other kind of provisioning is when we want to do more bulk groceries and stuff. With being in a marina makes it easier. We do provision via dinghy all the time, but if we're wanting to actually get more significant loading up on groceries,
It's a lot easier without.
it's a lot easier when we're tied up to the dock and we could take the bikes and fill the panniers and do multiple runs like that, or do a
Instacart,
and stuff
or
like that.
if there's a courtesy car, get out to a Costco or something like that if that's in the area. Provisioning is always a interesting challenge on a boat. Like we had mentioned before with the anchorage, if we're seeing a spell of bad weather come through, it is so much less stressful usually in a marina where you're tied up, you can put on double lines, you can... And then you're not worried about, are you going to drag anchor?
But once you're tied up, you're basically okay. As opposed to at an anchorage, you are on edge when the weather is rolling through.
Basically.
I mean, you're still on edge if the storm's big enough,
Yeah.
but you're at least tied to something, and you're in the same boat with a lot of other boaters at a marina.
Yeah, assuming they've tied well and they're not going to break loose in the storm. We have been through tropical storm force stuff at marinas, and they can be scary. But and sometimes they can be safer in a protected anchorage than at a marina. It's not a
Different kind of stress, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
I definitely feel when we have bad weather coming through, I prefer it at a marina.
Yeah, and then because if it gets really bad, you could evacuate.
Yes. You're not just stuck out here living on a dinghy for the rest of your life. Okay, or if the marina option happens to be free or really affordable, we have found some. We mentioned Leonardtown. They have a free town dock that you can tie up to, even with free electric, water, and pump out. We found some others like
Pocomoke City had just a
10
free for 2 days
days.
and $10 after that.
Cambridge used to offer 72 hours. Now they only offer 24, but
free town wall in Cambridge. So there's a lot of places where there's marinas or town docks and stuff that are actually free and welcoming and might have amenities. So from the cost standpoint, sometimes marina does make sense just as this is convenient and easy and it's not costing us anything extra. Okay, we'll do that.
Yep. Now, downsides of marinas and why we are not marina focused all the time. We know plenty of cruisers who just go marina to marina to marina, especially loopers where you might not outfit your boat because you're on a 1-year journey.
Or people who have a really hard time getting their dinghy on and off.
Or they have pets that they need to get off
several times a day. Yeah.
I mean, anchoring does complicate having a dog on board unless you can trade it to use facilities on board.
Yep.
But reasons we like to take a break from marinas is, number one, docking can be stressful.
Particularly if you're only there for a day or two. It's just like, how much effort do you want to put into getting into a tight slip sometimes?
It is a lot of work, especially if you don't have a home marina. Now, coming back to home marina, you learn the conditions of your slip.
Yeah.
You know what the conditions are. You know where your lines go. Every marina, however, is different. Do they have pilings? Do they have fixed docks? Do they have floating docks? Where do you need to have your fenders ready? Which side of the boat are you tying
up to?
Is
there shallow spots? There
how's the winds and the currents move through the marina? And this is all stuff you're trying to figure out on the spot. Some dock masters are really good in advance and give you a lot of good instructions and assistance and
in
heads
other
up.
places, you're completely on your own. It's like figure it out, tie up, and you might have a neighbor pop out to help or not. And in a windy or new conditions, it can be stressful to get into a marina sometimes. So it's like, do we want to go through that stress for just a day and then
or two?
$200 for it?
Yeah, we normally will not take a marina for just one night. If we're going through the effort, we're going to do at least 2 nights, maybe 3 or a month.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth the effort, and we're going to have actual time to explore the area that we're in or get chores done. I mean, you can't get all your packages overnight.
Overnight. I think we've hardly ever done a single night in marina. It's just not usually appealing to us.
No, it's just not worth the effort for us. And because it is that stress. And it's a lot of figuring out in the moment. Even if you have a dock hand, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're more of a hindrance than they are helpful. Yeah. We've had some tricky docking situations here on the Chesapeake this season where we've arrived sometimes without a dock hand's help. No information on what the dock configuration was. You look at Google
satellite view and try to figure things out.
Is it going to be a starboard tie? Oh, they said it's the forced slip in. Were they counting the T head or not? Which one is it? They don't have a map, or they send you a map and it conflicts
The map is wrong with reality. It's like
so you're switching your lines last minute as you're coming in.
and not that it's all unsurmountable, and we're really good at handling the boat and docking and stuff, but it's just more stress than we often want to deal with for a short stay.
Yep. Marina life is also a lot less private feeling than being out here at anchor.
We love having these views in every direction and not a view of the
someone's boat.
side of another boat.
So if you're an RVer, you've probably been to some very tightly packed campgrounds. Maybe you've gone to an RV rally and you have that rally style parking where you might have 10 feet, 20 feet between your RVs. Marinas are kind of like that. You might at best have 3 feet between you and the boat next to you. It's just a dock going in between your boats. You might have piling or two in between. Maybe you have 6 feet in between you. But unless you're on a T-head or a face dock, you're probably going to have a boat neighbor on both sides. And you might have a rear view if you're on, or you might have no rear view if you might have just down
one side of your boat might be completely blocked. And the upside of marinas, though, is often it's not like in an RV park where you have neighbors always. If there's an RV there, there's probably somebody in it. And at marinas, most boats and a lot of marinas are just being stored there. There's not somebody living in it. So at least you got some privacy, but
Sometimes.
not always.
Not always. And, when you're that close, that means conversations are going to be overheard. Television's going to be overheard. You're going to, like we mentioned, our textiles are sometimes not on our bodies. That means
to keep the windows.
More of the day we're spending with the windows closed. Even if it's not your dock neighbors that you're worried about, some marinas are very public. They might even be
right in the heart of downtown, which is a plus. That's actually a plus for us.
They might be a view from, very...
the tourist area.
Yeah, you might have tourists stopping and gawking. You might have them taking pictures of your boat in the background. So you're kind of in a fishbowl, that's what I'm saying.
And that can be nice because it helps you meet your neighbors, and it can be social, but other times it can be annoying. So you got to balance that out of like, do you want that kind of marina experience, or do you want the anchorage experience?
Yeah.
But that's the downside of marinas if you're not ready for it.
Sometimes we're feeling social, and that's a great benefit. Sometimes we're like, I just want to get ashore and get my dinner. Okay, I'm going to talk to 30 people on the way.
Yes. Sometimes. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes not.
Booking a marina is not... I've gotten so spoiled with RV campgrounds. So many of them, you book online, it's confirmed, you have a confirmation message. That site is yours. Marinas, you're doing a lot of research. Sometimes it takes us a whole afternoon to find a marina option. And then you have to call the dockmaster or submit a reservation online, online.
And some marinas are very quick about approving those requests, and some of them might take a day or two. And since we're usually last-minute planners, if they don't respond to a request within just a few hours, we're going to have to go make another plan. It's like, we don't plan weeks ahead like some people do.
So we've done all our research. We've picked out where we want to go, and it's like, okay, we're ready. And you can't get a hold of the dockmaster's gone for the day, and so we can't confirm your reservation. Like,
or you call and the person who's there answers the phone is like, I don't know, we might have a spot. I'll have to let the dockmaster know they'll be in 2 days. And I'm like, well, you don't know whether you have a spot or not. I was like, no, it's not that we don't have that paperwork figured out. It's like some marinas are really clueless about their ability to put new boats in.
And it is understandable because boats come in so many different sizes, and the slips can only accommodate.
The slips come in different sizes. And one boat might be able to fit in this slip, but it might have too much draft because they know that it gets really shallow. So a dockmaster knows these things and knows. You can have a conversation
and figure out your needs and things like that. We get it, but it is stress. It is an extra step, and it doesn't always fit in with our last minute planning.
and also, like some of the apps that do let you do kind of at least online booking and put in the request simply, like Docwa, they do a pretty good job of this, but they also make it very hard to price compare marinas. For some reason, it's just they hide the information of like how much the slip actually costs until you go through a whole bunch of hoops to make a reservation request.
Yes, so many marinas have gone to not posting their rates on their websites, and you're going through Docwa or Snag a Slip, and you don't get the cost until you get to the end. So you've gone through everything just to get a quote.
And I want to compare, like, compare 5 different marinas. I'm trying to decide which ones are worthwhile. And that one's $5 a foot. This one's $1 a foot.
Oh, but which one includes power? They also have different
I know.
resort fees, and you just don't know.
The marina booking industry can definitely use some improvements.
Definitely. And then daily dockage prices for transients does get rather pricey.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them are charging $2 to $4 a foot
I've seen
per
5 and
day.
6 even. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, you get into more metro areas, they can definitely get up there. And a boat our size, we always give the marina our range of sizes. So we're documented 47 feet, but our actual length is closer to 54 once you have the dinghy and the bow pulpit in there. Most of them offer to say, we'll round it to 50. Let's just charge you 50.
Or charge us 47. So
Yeah.
we let them decide what to charge us. And it's
I would say most of them choose 47 or 50. I think only 2 marinas have said, no, we're going to
charge you 55.
We're going to put you in a 55-foot slip, and because we don't allow overhang, or it's on a face dock where space really does matter. Most marinas are saying, no, we've dealt with Bayliner 4788s. We know you can fit in a 50-foot slip. Yes, you'll have some overhang. Yes, that's fine.
Yes.
So 50 foot, let's just go with that as a round number because that's why they choose it. So $2 a foot is looking at $100 a night, plus usually electric, $15 to $20 a night for that, plus taxes, everything else. We're easily looking at $120, $130 a night minimum there. You go to $4 a night, you're getting into hotel prices.
Fancy hotel prices.
Yeah, and they don't even come and clean my boat.
I know. So anchoring free versus dealing with all that hassle. So that's why when we are drawn to marinas, it's when they have either really nice. Some marinas have great like MTOA or AGLCA discounts, or they have discounts for extended stays or discounts for an entire month.
Or they're more of a municipal marina where they have they can offer rates at $1 to $1.50. That brings the cost way down. Or they're the more casual marina in town. We've done that too, where we've gotten rates like $65 a night is a lot better than $120 a night.
Because we'd rather take that money and spend it on local businesses than spend it on staying at a marina. So
the marinas are local business.
They are, but I'd rather go spend it at a restaurant and or a grocery store or a winery or something, and actually get some enjoyment out of it.
Yes, because marinas aren't always about enjoyment, but they do serve a purpose.
Yes.
So we are not averse to paying for marinas.
No.
But we need a reason.
Yes.
And those are our reasons. And your reasons may be extremely different. And there's the in-between. There's mooring balls, which are basically an anchorage, but you are attaching to a ball that's already secured hopefully secured. And then usually it's part of a marina, so you are paying a nightly fee.
You get guaranteed shore access, and you probably get access to their shore facilities, and sometimes there are amenities like pools and loaner bikes and
pump outs
and stuff like that. So mooring balls we do like when we run across them, and oftentimes they're very affordable, like $25, $35 a night, even less. Sometimes some towns have free mooring balls. And then we also have run across some places that have basically charge the same for a mooring ball as they would for a marina slip, which is getting kind of outrageous.
Well, not what they charge, but what a local marina might charge.
So we're seeing some mooring balls get crazy pricey.
Yeah, $70, $80 a night. Like, okay, I don't necessarily need access to your whatever. But mooring balls are a nice mix between the two.
Yes.
So basically, as you've come to find out, we mix it up. We are a variety of files, and we're going to choose the best option that's going to maximize our experience of an area.
And in our years of cruising, it has not been one or the other. I think it's kind of worked out almost 50-50.
So just this season alone. So we're filming this at the just Labor Day weekend.
Yep, September 1st.
And we've been cruising. We basically left late April. So the month of May, we spent 13 nights in marinas. The month of June, we spent 14 nights. July was mostly all marinas because we were in DC. That was our DC stay. It was end of June through end of July. And then August, we just completed. We only spent 5 nights in marinas because the weather has been phenomenal. So, yeah, it's great. And September, it's probably going to be half and half. Yeah. Well, we'll probably do mooring ball in Annapolis and then a marina in Baltimore.
Longer stay in Baltimore for the shore access of it all.
Yeah.
So we really do enjoy mixing it up. I know there's a lot of boaters who are one way or the other. And also a lot who do mix it up, and we're definitely in that let's mix it up camp.
Yeah, it's what is the best option for that area.
Yes.
And we like the variety. Sometimes 2 weeks off grid of taking short showers, I am ready for a marina and just walking off my boat, not worrying about it.
Yes, and having ample water, unlimited electricity, unlimited laundry. It's like, sometimes it's just nice to be
Indulgent.
And other times it is actually fun to be miserly and manage our power and see how many days we can get without touching the generator, and just stuff like that. So it's sometimes it's really part of the game to be out at anchor.
It's part of the variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we love it.
Yep. So that's our anchoring versus marina discussion. Hope it didn't bore you too much.
We're just gonna enjoy this pretty view. Watch the
Yes.
eagles fly.
There we go.
Yep. Cool. See ya.
We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.